Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in today's video I'll be talking about a very important topic. This is something that all the CSS students think about. It is a question that bothers them all the time. So I decided why not address this issue today. So, one question that really bothers the mind of CSS aspirants is that which optional subjects should they choose? And they keep on wondering whether political science is a safe or scoring option or not. And other such questions often come in our mind. It is particularly very important because when you look at the subject grouping of CSS, which is given by FPSC, we see that the group 1 is the most important group because the subjects in group 1 hold 200 marks. And with that reference, we try to choose those subjects which are easy to understand, easy to learn, easy to analyze. And for any person, whether they belong to an engineering background, medical background, or any other background, we always try to opt such subjects that are easy for us to understand. So in that reference, political science and international relations are two subjects that kind of overlap with each other. But one thing that I would make clear is that international relations is a subdiscipline of political science. So when you're studying political science, you are kind of also touching the domains of international relations. Whereas when you're studying international relations, you particularly stick to theories and more of current affairs and such aspect. It is basically a narrowed down version of political science, whereas in political science you're studying philosophy, you're studying theories, you're studying case studies, you're studying global politics, international organizations, and everything. So in that reference, political science becomes very important, and it is a much better and much scoring subject in comparison to international relations. However, if I talk about score, so score is something that you build yourself. You learn the tricks yourself about how and why and what tips to choose to write in your exam to score better. So basically, yes. So, the question that I was aiming for today's video is that the confusion that rises in choosing an optional subject. Your optional subjects are as important as anything else. It's basically a path to your strong professional career or your future, because if you choose the right optional subject, you secure a safety or a guaranteed success for your CSS exams. And that is very important because choosing a wrong optional, especially choosing a wrong 200 mark optional, can cost you a lot. So many of the students who have their degrees in accounting and finance or any other such technical subjects which are given in the group 1 table of FPSC's subject grouping, they opt for political science or international relations, and they do so because they think they are much easier to understand. And why I say so is because I will give you some reasons in this video, after which you would actually agree to why you should choose political science as your optional in CSS. So one of the most important reasons why political science should be one of your optionals in CSS is because it is very relevant. When I talk about its relevance, I connect it with the other optionals that you might be choosing. And one very important tip that I would love giving the students is that choose those subjects that have an overlapping aspect to them, subjects that are somehow related to each other. And as I've mentioned here, that political science connects with public administration and governance. So we see that political science is just not another subject. It is directly connected to the core of public administration, governance, and international relations. And we also see that political science is something that helps us with Pakistan affairs and current affairs. Now, if you've gone through FPSC's whole syllabus for CSS, you know that Pakistan affairs and current affairs are two compulsory subjects that are included in the CSS syllabus, and they are also considered as the most challenging subjects. So to have grip over Pakistan affairs and current affairs, it is very important to have grip over the basic fundamentals of political science, because in Pakistan affairs you could be asked about constitutional crisis, you could be asked about suggestive measures that could be taken at local level, at provincial level. They could ask you about various amendments that would be happening in the country. And They also kind of link it with the economic aspect of the country, the politics happening, the interprovincial relations. At the same time, when you talk about current affairs, it talks about basically foreign policy, which is again a very core part of current affairs. And when you are addressing Pakistan affairs and current affairs, specifically in Pakistan affairs, you need to have a historical background, which is provided to you by political science. And at the same time, when you talk about current affairs, you need to have a strong grip over philosophical foundation and theories, which is again provided by political science. So, this is how political science is very relevant in CSS. And then, as I mentioned, that political science also talks about IR. It focuses on governance and public policy. So, even if you do not choose governance and public policy as your optional, you might see that in your questions in the question papers of Pakistan affairs or current affairs, and even in the question paper of essay, they kind of put forth suggestive questions. They want the students to outline a policy for certain issues. So for that aspect, it's very important to have strong grip over political science. And then, of course, political science covers issues relevant to Pakistani politics. So, a student who has a very good grip on what the contemporary issues are is, has more chances to clear the exam and to, have more stronger case studies to connect with various issues in various subjects. And political science is that one holistic subject which kind of covers 30 to 40% of your different optionals. So I think it is the best option for students. So this slide kind of summarizes what I meant to say, and this is a very important aspect of CSS examination that one must keep in mind. So basically, you need to be very strategic when you're preparing for your exams. It's not about how many books you read or how much knowledge you have. It's more about how you can link and connect the information that you have, and this is something that can help you secure at least 500 marks in your written by proper preparation and by being more focused and more concentrated. And that is possible if you choose political science and you study it strategically, and if you are able to link it with other optionals as well. So the second reason why I would suggest you to keep political science as your optional is because of its syllabus. The syllabus of political science is something that is very comprehensive, and this is something that I have been talking about in my videos. So in political science syllabus, you study about political theories, you study about political systems, constitutions, governance and institutions. So basically it's a very holistic, comprehensive and very practical subject that helps you focus on a very wide idea of things, and on a very huge number of um, topics that can help you save your time, and that can help you prepare your exam in a more efficient manner. And in the description of this video, I have shared the link of FPSC's syllabus, and I've also mentioned the page numbers through which you can see the syllabus of political science, and you can have a much detailed idea of what political science covers. And if you want a detailed video over the discussion over the syllabus of political science given by FPSC, we can do that as well. We can break down the syllabus of political science and we can have a discussion over it. So another reason why I would encourage students to keep political science as their optional is because anybody can study the subject and it's very easy to understand. So, in most of the cases when we are choosing an optional, our question is, are we eligible to keep this subject? Can we study this? Is it easy to understand or not? And without any doubt, there are many optionals in the subjects that are given to us which do require some preliminary knowledge, or you must have some idea of the subject, which might take some time, and it's very risky to keep such subjects unless you have a lot of time. But in most of the cases, the students do not have a lot of time, and it's very smart to keep such subjects that can save your time and can help you prepare in a much better way. So when we talk about political science, it is one such subject for which you do not require necessarily any preliminary knowledge. It is a subject that is very easy to understand, and you would definitely love this subject if you enjoy debates and current affairs, if you have interest in national international news, if you love politics, laws and ideologies. But these are just some basic things. If you are a student who is passionate, who is hardworking, and who is ready to give their blood, sweat, and tears to this journey of CSS preparation, you can nail it. You can score good marks in it. It is not necessary that you need to have a social science background. Students with medical background, engineering backgrounds, or technical backgrounds also keep this subject and they score rather well. And of course, another very important reason why I would suggest students to keep political science as their optional is because it helps in writing better answers. So, political science improves your ability to construct structured, argumentative, and analytical answers, which is a huge asset in CSS and PMS exams. Because in this subject, you learn how to build a logical flow of ideas, you use political theories to support real world examples, and you analyze governance issues like a policymaker. Especially in papers like Pakistan Affairs, essay, and even Islamia, this skill makes you stand out. And through political science, you can learn this. You can save your time. And not only is this, but we can kind of say that political science equals to better answer writing skills. And at the same time, it aids in citing better examples and quoting renowned scholars and books, which is very, very important. So, to conclude, it can be said that political science is just not like any other optional subject that you have in CSS. It is rather more than a subject, it is a foundation, it is a mindset that helps you think like a true scholar. It helps you think like a learned person. It helps you, diverge from the myths and helps you believe in reasoning and logic more. And such trends are very common when we talk about Pakistani politics, when we talk about a political scenario or governance in Pakistan, where many people tend to believe myths more than reasoning and logic. So this is something that political science helps break. It helps you think like a true scholar, where you actually provide reasoning, you talk with reference to cause and effect, you talk with reference to historical events, you propose policy with a more cross cultural or comparative analysis, and you have a very analytical approach. Not only is this, but we see that political science helps us understand power, politics and people, and this nexus is very important for for everyone to help live in society like more responsible and mature citizens. So political science is just not important for passing an exam. It is important for individuals to be more aware of their rights, their duties, to understand how the intricacies of governance function, how the relationship between the state and citizenry exists, and most importantly, if one passes the exam, this understanding of society helps the civil servants in performing their job in a much mature and in a much honest way. So this was the video for today, and I'm sure you must be convinced of why you should keep political science as your optional. And my support or my love for the subject is not because I have to make videos on it, but my love and support for this is because I try to tell the viewers such tips and tricks that can help them save their time in their CSS journey and can help them become better citizens, because the purpose of the exam is also to serve the nation, to help us become better humans. So through these simple tricks and tips, you can make your CSS journey more effective and efficient. And if you have more questions, please write down in the comment section. And if you want me to make more videos regarding the subject selection in CSS, please let me know. Thank you.